All right. Well, it looks like we're live for sure on YouTube. I would hesitate to say we're live on Facebook, uh, just based on the way Wave and Facebook have been behaving over the last couple of days. I did give it the college try about 3 times. We're also live on TikTok. So for those of you that are joining us from TikTok land, feel free to post comments in the chat, and I will definitely make sure they get asked on the air. In the meantime, welcome to the Hypnosis Hero podcast. Welcome to the premiere of season 4. We are kicking off officially a new season of the podcast. Brian and I had a look back all the way back to, uh, you know, last year in December, January, I think it was February when we picked up. And we have, oddly enough, we have over 30 episodes. And if that's a TV show, that's that either that in and of itself is now 3 seasons, because we all know that they don't do a 26 or 28 show run during a season anymore. And for those of you that are joining us from across the pond, yes, it is a series. So we're on series 4 now. All right. All of that said, today is September the 30th. It is National Day of Truth and Reconciliation here in Canada. So it's otherwise known as Orange Shirt Day. And we were talking a little bit before the podcast started up on live. I'm going to bring on my co-host with the most, Mr. Brian Bay. There's the man, the myth, the legend.
Sean, good evening. How are you doing?
Good. To answer your question, so what is National Day of Truth and Reconciliation? So there was an issue that came up. The government did not handle it well, so they literally put together a National Royal Commission, which doesn't happen often. The Royal Commission came up with what are now 94 calls to action for truth and reconciliation. As a country, I think we've probably only actioned a very few of them. Some organizations are doing better at it than others, but if you were in Canada today, you quite likely heard or saw the flags at half-mast, and to honor those people who did not come home from residential schools. And you would have seen a lot of orange shirts. It's not that we love orange as our favorite color, but that was the color of the shirt that the lady who did the original design, that was her color, and so it just grew, and that actually came out of BC and went straight across the nation, and within a year, everybody was working and making sure that they were being cognizant of truth and reconciliation. So,
Oh, wow.
all of that said, we are still very much at the beginning stages of helping and healing that issue. But onward, we keep going. I'm not wearing my orange shirt now.
That vest identifies as orange, Sean. And if anybody says otherwise,
it should identify as tweed.
I'm just saying, like
Brown tweed.
At least in some parts of the United States, that they go, well, we can identify as whatever we want. And so that's why I'm saying, just if anybody says that your vest is not orange, they're color phobic, or orange is the new black. So you just kind of there's some black in there.
Yep, there is. It's all good.
Grant's laughing in the background, going, "You're digging yourself a grave, Brian."
I know. So we've got a couple of hypnotists in the TikTok room. We've got lots of people here in the TikTok room. That's great. If you guys want to post questions for our guests, please do so. Let us know where you're joining from. I know at least one of you is joining from Scotland, and at least one of you is joining from Ontario. But post it in the chat, and we got a few people already posting. We got Becca saying, "Hey guys." Nora is saying, "Hey, friends," and Becca is calling you out already, Brian. It's going to be a long night for you.
Oh no, she probably actually like Googled that thing and looked it up of what's the.
But see, it's got the proper spelling with the extra U.
Oh God. Yeah, that's the metric spelling.
It's all good. It's all good. And I see Grant is also joining us on TikTok. We're going to find out what happens to his sound when we bring him on in just a moment. But we've got a little bit of a bio to read through with that guy. Before we do, Howard,
you might need to mute your TikTok.
Well, my TikTok is muted.
Okay.
It's literally just picking up whatever comes through on the microphone. So.
Oh, okay, yeah. So we just need to make sure it doesn't loop on Grant's end. But it's Grant's a tech savvy kind of guy. Like it's like he does, live broadcasting as a profession.
Well, that's it does help when you have that kind of knowledge, right?
Yeah. So yeah, let's go ahead and send it with that with the intro for our esteemed colleague.
All right, our esteemed guest. He's such a good-looking kind of guy. He could be described as steamy. You never know.
Yeah,
he is, of course, one of the UK's premier stage hypnotists, renowned for his fast-paced and high-energy performances that blend comedy, mesmerism, and audience participation into unforgettable experiences. He has over 2 decades of professional experience and has hypnotized thousands. His shows are a roller coaster of laughter and amazement, where the volunteers become the stars and the power of the mind takes center stage. Beyond the stage, he's a conference speaker, a conference organizer, a mentor. He offers hypnosis training workshops. He shares insights into the art and ethics of hypnosis. And he is an avid podcaster, live streamer, and of course, my co host on Hypno News Live, our weekly look at the world of hypnosis. As a guest on the Hypnosis Hero podcast, he brings his signature wit, wisdom, and behind the scenes stories revealing what it takes to master the craft and captivate crowds. Whether you are a hypno enthusiast, an aspiring performer, or just curious about the magic of the mind, Grant Saunders is your guide to the thrilling world of stage hypnosis. And with all of that said, welcome to the Hypnosis Hero podcast. Oh, where is it? There it is. I got to get the right media here because we've got a special sound for Grant. Mr. Grant Saunders.
I was expecting like the King's trumpeting or something like that. But,
the King's trumpeting. That sounds like something I was doing earlier.
Grant, whatever you do on your own time is none of my business behind closed doors.
When you talk about technology and stuff and podcasting, the one thing I always say about live streaming and going live and all of that stuff, I always say, never have a beige background. Never kind of have so everything that I always say you shouldn't do is what I'm doing tonight. So I'm doing that deliberately to be ironic, I think.
Well, if you're misbehaving, we'll allow it.
Well, you've got contrasting colors, so you've got a dark sweater.
Yes. And in honor of Sean's tweed jacket, I've got a nice kind of tweed throw there over the sofa. So yeah, I'm trying to.
Yeah, but I can complete the ensemble.
Oh,
look at that!
I've got a
cap and everything.
That helps. There we go.
Tell me, do I look like Richard Cole? If I can pass for Richard, I'm doing good.
Exactly. It's great to see Nora here as well, Becca. It's great to see some good people here. It feels like ages on this.
Yeah, and on TikTok, you saw Penman is there. Arthur just joined in. We got quite a few people rolling through.
Arthur, is that Poland, Arthur?
I'll tell you. Nope.
Okay,
this
different.
Is well, maybe from Hamburg.
I'm no geography major, but Hamburg is Germany, isn't it?
Yes.
It is.
Okay.
That's East America, I think.
Germany. So now that we've established that Grant's been drinking this evening.
Hey, Nora says I look like Richard, so I'll take it. We'll go with it.
That would be interesting for like that, the conference fancy dress elements. So in Detroit, they did a Harry Potter themed one, which was quite interesting. But it would be interesting to go to your next conference dressed as your favorite hypnotist.
I don't know if I have enough purple.
There's
an mention. Grant's favorite color is purple.
Purple. Oh, the color.
Dress like your favorite hypnotist. I'm like, there's an ashy joke that I'm trying not to say right now, but
you know what? The better thing is to try and imitate your favorite hypnotist. And I got to think. Let me see. To be sure.
To be fair. But
how did I do?
Awesome.
We needs a little more English breakfast and a little less maple syrup, Shawn.
All right, hang on.
Perfect.
To be sure. It's all good. We do this all the time, just so everybody knows. I'm not making fun of Grant. We do this all the time. And in fact, Jim and I used to do, when we used to do the Hypno News together when Grant was on assignment, I would always start off by saying, and I'm not Grant Saunders.
I sound like Dan Goyette.
Well, I'm not him either. And speaking of Dan, even though Michigan is over now, he's already collecting swag for next year. Like, this guy is just absolutely amazing.
It's like we should hire him.
Yeah, a great energy, a great power force, and just a giving character. So yeah, speaking with Dan at the conferences is just such a cool guy. And again, I cannot say this enough. You have to go to Dan's conference just for the raffle prizes. They are amazing.
It's like it makes the airfare and everything and hotel worth it. You're like,
oh, absolutely.
Well, unless you win something so major that you now have to drive home with it instead of fly, that would be a problem. But I don't know. Dan hasn't given away anything quite that big yet.
Dan says, "Hold my scotch."
Yeah,
or hold his kilt.
No. You don't hold kilts, Brian. That's you just let them dangle. And I know that Granny was Scottish.
Yes. Yep. Have I ever shown you my kilt photo?
So no.
This
a place called Wortley Hall, beautiful, stunning.
I think you showed me you and a handful of other guys because it was a formal event where everybody was in kilts.
Yes. Well, there was 5 of us in kilts. But I ended up on a 130-year-old grand piano laid across it in my kilt, which was quite an interesting shot.
And that's how Grant's... That's how Grant was published as a centerfold, ladies and gentlemen.
But. Yeah.
Actually, what I was picturing was that commercial, Brian. And that's the moment he knew he messed up.
Yes.
It's all good. Well, we said this was a bit of a special podcast because this is, of course, the start of our season 4, and we started off season 3 with Grant, and I thought, we'd make it a bit of a tradition that we would start the next season with Grant. So here we are starting that next season now. We obviously all have a lot on the go, but we talked about being a conference organizer, and we talked about Michigan and making sure you get there. Performing Hypnosis Summit is coming up, and we have all kinds of stuff happening right now in December, and then of course at the conference. So, Brian, speakers, is it just me or is Brian completely frozen?
Oh, we should be grateful for small mercies.
Just got a black screen on the laptop, decided to restart randomly. There you go.
Yeah.
Always check your machine and make sure you run all your updates the day before. Then you know.
I must admit, it's probably one of the best tips when it comes to streaming or doing Zooms or webinars. Literally, restart your machine just before you go live. It makes sure everything's working as it should be most of the time.
Yeah.
As we know, when you're live, anything can and does happen, and so you've just got to roll with it, really.
Yeah, 100%. And you make a really good point about that, because the problem that we have with society is we like instant. So we close our laptop lid, we power it down, sort of. It really just goes to sleep. We break it up. It's gotten a lot better at reconnecting and making sure things are good, but it's not perfect.
No.
And, you literally, like you said, have to do a full reboot, make sure everything connects properly, and then you can go.
Yeah. The amount of times I've been on with the support guys from Be Live, and I'll have an issue, and I'm in a panic. I'm about to go live, and this isn't working, that isn't working, and they will be like, "Clear your cache, restart your machine." And I'm like, "Yeah, no, but it's not doing this. They're like, "Clear your cache, restart your machine," and it's like it's magic.
Yep, that's because it is magic.
Yes.
I call it IT magic.
Yes.
Everybody's always amazed, and they say, "Well, have you turned it off and on?" Yeah, of course I did. Try it again, and I'll stand there right with them, and it works.
Yeah, yeah. As we know at PHS, when the projector wasn't working with the laptop, and this wasn't working with that, and it was this, and it was, you did your IT Reiki, you touched your hands on the machine, and it worked.
Yep. And again, it's those weird things that happen. Like, sometimes I think people forget we're dealing with free floating electrons that we have forced down a pipeline, down a circuit. And when it works really well. But when it doesn't, it can be a real problem.
Yeah. And I suppose when we've all got so much stuff now as well, iPhones, laptops, desktops, our TVs, streaming services, our smart fridges, our whole homes are now run on wireless technology. Everything interferes with everything else. So when it doesn't work magnificently.
Yeah. And if you need to reboot, Brian, because your camera's not working, then go ahead. Sounds like that's exactly what he did. He just showed up behind the scenes there.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
No, PHS.
As with a PC, I think that is.
Yeah. He's using a proper computer improperly.
Yeah. Operator error.
We have a saying, PEBCAC, PEBKAC. Problem exists between keyboard and chair.
Yes. Yes. I like that. So true. Yeah.
But PHS, of course, speaker submissions are closing tonight.
Yes. So it's weird. Because, it's interesting because we have 2 or 3 different time zones of when that is. And so it is effectively, I mean, I have famously said the 31st of September is when speaker submissions close.
Yep.
Which I'm now going to claim I say that deliberately, because then that takes into account my 30th of September and Brian's 30th of September, which comes into the 1st of October. It covers those 2 days. And so the final email went out to kind of give people that 24-hour push. And there's a few more just crossed the line, and some great speakers have come in again on the back of that. So, yeah.
We've got Penman in TikTok land saying, "My signal keeps dipping in and out. He's on the road." Watch the road, Penman. Don't worry about us.
Yes.
And he says, but I've had just enough time to share with Grant, never wear beige.
Yes.
Grant, check your DM.
Let's have a look. Oh, there
and
we go.
Welcome back, Mr. Brian Bay.
Oh.
We left that up just for you, Brian. Becca's saying that you did a really good impersonation of a statue.
No, I know what happened. Jim didn't like that ashy joke, and he just went, "Thou shalt not be on the laptop anymore." And
no, I just said it was it was improper use of a proper computer.
No, I was listening to you guys talk, and then all of a sudden, the screen went black, and it just started going. Big error occurred. It's collecting data and waiting to restart, and then I was back in. It wouldn't connect to the camera, and so. But anyway, so what all did I miss?
We don't know, but it brought up your internet history on the screen, Brian.
Yeah.
No, we're really demonetized.
we were talking about different IT solutions and some of the acronyms that we have in IT, like PEBCAC, where problem exists between keyboard and share. Nora just shared, or picnic, problem and share, not in computer.
I like that as well, and I think I'll remember picnic.
Well, it's food. You have to remember picnic. Yeah, and we were talking about make sure you always reboot before you jump on. Just good hygiene for the machine. And Becca says, "Hey again."
It's the same with everything. It's the little routines you do before you do the tasks. Before you go on stage, making sure your shoelaces are tied, your zipper is pulled up, your belt is nice and tight. It's all those the nuances that you do that make the performance work well. Exactly the same on a live stream. It's just the little things you do before you go live. I'm always, even though, again, right now, I'm doing all the things I never do. I'm on Wi-Fi. Generally, when I stream, I don't go on Wi-Fi. I always make sure I'm plugged into an Ethernet cable just to have it stable. You got to do all those little things just to help everything smooth along a little bit more.
Yeah. So, speaking of what type of stuff has been going on in your world as far as performing? I know that you had wrapped up, I want to say like a tour, but it wasn't quite a residency. You just had a bunch of set shows kind of just for the summer season.
Yes, well, let's say summer season. It's generally it's in the UK. The season is from like April to September, and so it's not so much a tour, but it's the closest to a residency as you can get. And so I have a few of those now, which is quite nice, and I'm very grateful to it. I'm grateful to it now in the middle of the season. I absolutely hate it and have to remind myself that I'm very lucky to do it.
Because you're not running around doing marketing and cold calls and going, "Can I come do a show, please?" You're like,
exactly, yeah.
All right, I know where I'm going to be.
Yeah, but by the time August comes around, I am generally like, I want to give this all up and get a job in a 9-to-5 doing IT.
No, you don't.
I just want to work at a flower shop.
Exactly.
IT doesn't sleep. I used to get calls, and I'm not lying when I say this. Sammy in the chat wants to know where you're from in the UK.
I'm currently in Yorkshire, which is the centre of the universe. So I'm in a place in the Pennines, just between Leeds and Manchester. So I'm smack in the middle.
She's saying anywhere in the Lake District.
I'm about an hour and a half from the Lake District. The Lake District, for any of you Americans that are thinking of coming to the UK, give that an absolute, make sure it's on your list to go to the Lake Districts. Everyone goes to London, then they go to Scotland, then they might go to York. But trust me, the Lake District is absolutely beautiful. So if I ever get any spare time when I'm going up that way, I'll always kind of go into Windermere, and it's just a beautiful part of the world.
Is that Lake District National Park?
Yes.
And Sammy says that's where her hubby is from. So,
oh, fantastic! It is a beautiful part of the world.
Cool.
So, yeah.
All right, now let's zip back. Here's why you don't want a job in IT. IT goes 24/7, even on September 31st. I used to get calls Christmas Eve at like 7 or 8 at night. Hey, I'm at the school and this isn't working. Can you come and fix it? I used to get calls at 6 in the morning. I used to get calls at 2 in the morning. Just my report card thing isn't working. I need it for 6 a.m. Can you come and fix it? It was nonstop on the go. And at that time, I was thinking, gee, it might be easier for me to just work for myself. So there's no happy medium except the medium that gets paid.
Right.
It's like the fourth or fifth emergency service. And I've learned this because I've just lost a good friend of mine and a web guy. He's had to take some time away from stress. And I think a lot of that stress was caused by me, because when it doesn't work, when you kind of run a couple of different websites and you press a button and it doesn't do what it's supposed to do, or you go to your website and it's just not there, when that's a very big source of your traffic, of your income, of all of those things, when that doesn't work, you don't want to wait 3 to 5 business days. You want to be on the phone to somebody and you want it fixed now. I couldn't wait as long as it would take the like AAA to come and collect my car if my car broke down. That would be an emergency, but that would maybe take 2 hours for them to come out to me. If there's a problem with my website or my computer, to wait 2 hours for a fix for that would drive me around the bend. I want 24-hour support, 7 days a week. It needs to work. And I don't think people appreciate that the people on the other side of IT, the web developers, those type of people, are actually humans as well. So yeah,
we are.
Well,
I'm a real boy.
Shawn, you. Oh, Grant, you got to go back. You got to soundbite that. Shawn, you just created your text notification for Grant's phone for your contact. So when you call, if Scott King was here to see that,
he probably is. You never know. We got five people there, and we got a few people still. Penman's still on in the TikTok room there, along with Arthur, and Sammy just ducked out. I'm thinking she probably had a webinar to go to.
So
Becca was on the move. Went to Peak District in Derbyshire years back. And I love how Becca says years back, because for her that could be like 2 or 3. For us, that could be like 20 or 30.
Yes.
We don't talk about these things, Shawn.
We have a new school administrator in one of our schools, and I finally met her today. And we both got talking about where we came from and all that kind of stuff. And Holly's in the house. Holly from LA. Glad to see you here. You were here with myself, Grant from the UK, and Brian from Seattle. We are the Hypnosis Heroes, or at least Grant is. We're just the interviewers.
Yeah,
we're just the hired help. We hired ourselves.
Okay, so I'm looking at Google Maps. So
the maps are on.
Yeah, so I see, going back to Becca's comment, because I just scrolled out or zoomed out from the Lake District, and then I see Derby, which is right north of Birmingham.
Yes.
And then I was actually looking up this stuff, because the difference between the United States, like our country is made up of states, and the states are made up of counties, and then the counties have sometimes multiple cities or municipalities in there. But was it shires are kind of like a county, town. It's some type of designated area. So I don't know if Derbyshire if Derby is within that area or.
Derby is a town. Derbyshire is the county area.
So is the area around the city itself?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I do see a lot of Yorkshire, and
which would be presumably around York.
Kind of. York's weird area. So Yorkshire.
Well, I know they had a battle with some other big family back then.
Yes. What's interesting is they broke it down into different areas. So you've got North Yorkshire, which is where York is, North Yorkshire, South Yorkshire, West Yorkshire, which is where I am, and then you would think obviously the eastern part of that, like where Hull is, would be East Yorkshire. But no, they didn't want that. So we have North Yorkshire, West Yorkshire, South Yorkshire, and the East Ridings of Yorkshire.
Yeah, because I've seen
But they also have pudding.
Oh yeah,
Yorkshire pudding.
Yorkshire pudding is food of the gods.
Haven't had one for a long time.
And then you guys have boroughs.
Yes.
Which is kind of the same thing, only slightly different.
Yes.
God. You guys gotta make things super complicated out there. It was like, okay, so everything is run by the crown and parliament and everything, and then you're in different districts and everything, and so it's like you kind of have leadership roles for the local councils and stuff. They're like, yeah, we can kind of direct some monies for roads and some little utilities and stuff, but then we really don't have much of a say over anything else.
Yeah,
it's just more of kind of like an honorary title.
Yeah,
but
so we have mayors of our towns, but the mayor doesn't really do much. To be fair, it is more of a ceremonial role. Although we've just appointed a mayor of Yorkshire, and she's actually quite active.
And what I found is that most politicians are just absolute complete whores for a ribbon cutting ceremony with the gigantic scissors. They're like, oh, photo ops, cool. And it's just it's like the ribbon doesn't, it's two people holding it. And it's like, all right, cool. I just made two big pieces and just created garbage.
Yeah. Although, let's be honest, given the opportunity, Grant Saunders is available for opening of supermarkets, cutting of ribbons, and child christenings. It's if you can get that as a gig, then absolutely hats off to you. Take it. It is here's an interesting thing. In the UK, we do have celebrants and people from the local boroughs that officiate over weddings and stuff.
Yep.
And I'm a big fan of it. The problem is, if you're going to have that type of role as a job, don't be an official, like a council worker doing it, reading from a folder. Put some performance into it. Deliver it like it's a wedding. And it's the amount of times I've been to an event or a wedding, even funerals, where the officiant is just like, ladies and gentlemen, no. And I'm like, if you do this job day in, day out, you should know this and be able to deliver this better than what you were doing at this moment in time. I think the delivery of that stuff is absolutely paramount.
And then have some, little quips that you can drop in there, just little funny bits, because it kind of breaks up the monotony. I mean, yeah, never. Sometimes people need some laughter at a funeral.
Yeah.
But
I used to be a church commissioner for the province of Saskatchewan in the city of Yorkton, which is where I'm from, and I can tell you that script is boring.
Yeah,
and it's made to be a legal document. But yes, there are times where it just you want to be like the priest in Spaceballs. Do you? Good. You're married. Kiss her.
Yeah. Do you accept him as he is, better for worse. You know,
there
are no warranties expressed or implied. You know, there's no return policy or anything like that.
So a colleague of mine who was one of our school counselors, I did that at his wedding because I knew what his sense of humor is, and it was very easy to slip in. About 10 or 15 jokes, at least 10 of them, I'm sure, were directed at him. Everybody got them though. And he was good with that because he has that good sense of humor. But yeah, I did my brother's wedding, and about the only joke I could make was the fact that we all had to run for cover because a thunderstorm rolled through and there was a bolt of lightning that hit the field across the road from us. So that maybe we should just evacuate for a little bit. And then
you tell your brother that's a sign from God.
So anyway, apart from being legal, I get what you're saying, Grant. It does, put some flair into it. This is somebody's special day. And if there's no shotguns around, to legitimize the wedding and make sure they say I do, then it's a happy occasion.
Yeah, I mean, my really good friend Matt, he made the mistake, and I think he understands the error of his ways by asking me to be the best man at his wedding. And so there was a speech, and so I put a lot of time and effort into it. So we were in the military together, so he is longtime law enforcement, and so I came up with marital Miranda. So like your right to remain silent, anything you say can and will be used against you. All of it's kind of a quick Constitution 101, but it's geared towards being married. And so everybody got a kick out of that. And then because it was his third marriage, I was like, hey, I feel, honored. And, Matt said that if I, do a good job at it, he'll let me be the best man at the next one. And everybody was like, he did not just say that. And I was like, I know. And they'd be like, oh, like, I know. That's what I thought, how romantic he's already, planning on renewing his vows and things like that. So it's kind of that push pull with the audience where they're like, we don't know what's coming next, but there's definitely kind of a banter back and forth that goes with it.
Yeah. I think for hypnotists, it's also, it's a great market that, there's a big responsibility for like best man speeches, and making sure you deliver those toasts and those presentations right. And not so many people now will ChatGPT their vows or their best man speeches. And ChatGPT is a great tool to help, but you don't want it to be too generic. And so as hypnotists, it's a great opportunity that we can market to those people to help them, write a meaningful best man speech that is, a little bit funny, but also, concise and just, it's a good market. I see a couple of clients for exactly that as well.
And if you do, especially like a best man speech or something like that, or maid of honor, if you do it right, you'll end up on YouTube, especially at today's age. And when I did mine, it was a number of years ago, and people were like, we totally wish that we had video recorded that, because it people were laughing back and forth. And of course I'm making fun of myself. I mean, it's sort of that combination between the roast of your friend where you're just picking on them left and right, but then also conveying how much they mean to you, and you care about them, and you love them to death. So, but yeah, what Grant, are you at liberty to say which shows that you've stopped now that it's the end of the season, and which ones that you have going on, or if people wanted to, for your public shows, if people wanted to come see you?
Yeah, so I mean, I still have plenty of public shows booked in. So the season is the main season is kind of finished now, but then it finishes for a few weeks, and then we go into the autumn season. So then we're then into kind of Halloween shows. So all of those venues,
pumpkin spice hypnosis.
Exactly. So all of those venues have Halloween shows as well. So most of October is filled up with those, and then corporate parties in and amongst those as well. And then it looks like mid-November to very much just before Christmas. I'm on a bit of a crazy tour as well, which will take me up through that there Canada, back and around, and then back to the UK.
Where are you going to be in Canada?
The cold bit, apparently.
The what?
The cold bit.
It'll be about 3.5 hours away from me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Saskatchewan, however you say it.
Saskatchewan.
Exactly as you spell it. Saskatchewan.
Yeah. That sounds like a Chinese spicy dish.
No, that's Szechuan. There's less syllables. All you need to know is you are going to Saskatoon, Saskatchewan.
Yes.
So is that a public show or is that a corporate one?
That's a corporate Christmas party.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So Christmas parties, as a performer, I have a love-hate relationship with Christmas parties. As an entertainer, I don't know if you guys have it over there, but we have a thing here in the UK called Black Eye Friday or Mad Friday. So it's the last working Friday before Christmas. It's generally when a lot of offices have their Christmas parties. It is the day when every entertainer is working. Apart from me, I don't work Black Eye Friday. It's just. I used to, and I used to do it just for the money. But no one wants to see a hypnosis show.
The United States has Black Friday. It's usually the day after Thanksgiving. That's just a big shopping day that sometimes will go into Thanksgiving, and then it extends to Saturday, Sunday, Monday, the rest of the week. They go, okay, it's Amazon Thursday or something.
I think we're just coming up to one of those. 7th and 8th of October is an Amazon Prime Day, so make sure
I ordered my stuff already, so and it came. Exactly. I actually got a good deal on Starbucks coffee. I will say that. Nice. Mark Barris is joining us, and speaking of drinks and whatnot, he was told there were going to be snacks. I believe Brian said something about biscuits, which I mean for us in America would actually be considered to be cookies.
But biscuits for me are like dinner rolls, so bread.
A dinner roll? I've never heard of dinner roll.
Yeah,
a bun.
Yeah, like a little dinner roll bun thing.
Yes, but
biscuits and gravy.
Here. So, biscuits. I could see biscuits and gravy. However, cookies. Because I can't eat them anyway, or at least I'm not supposed to. Nora says that Chris and her are also ordained, and they are able to do weddings, and oh my,
this pumpkin spice hypnosis.
So.
That was Sean's stage name back when he was an adult entertainer.
Not me. So on TikTok, for those of you that have been following Jesse Lewis, he posted and he had a trailer full of all these pumpkins, and he says, "I have all." And again, I'm quoting. He says, "I have all the white women chasing me because I've got all the pumpkins and all the spice." He closes the door. So, for those of you that drink PSLs,
I'm like, oh, okay, now I get it.
Pumpkin spice lattes. For those of you that do drink PSLs, you're on your own.
Grant's nodding his head like they don't know that I'm wearing my UGG boots and flannel underwear right now.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I'm a basic white chick.
Mark says I'm old. Mark, you're not that old. Maybe a little older than us, but not that old. And I remember when fish and chips came wrapped in newspaper. Also, that wasn't.
Yeah, that was That was back in the late 1900s, right?
Historically speaking, yes.
Better out of newspaper.
There's something with that ink that gets into the juices and everything. Oh yeah, Becca and I had a conversation about biscuits and gravy.
Yeah,
I think it was she was trying to her sister's dog. It was like, oh, do you want a biscuit, like a dog treat? And I was like, it just sounds so weird to me when she says stuff like that. I'm like,
and we've got Jen C joining us in TikTok land. Jen, of course, is when you fly over to Saskatoon from, I'm going to guess Toronto is where you're going to enter the country. You will fly directly over Jen's province of Manitoba before you get to Saskatchewan. So she knows very much what being in the Great White North means when it comes to winter, because about the only place that is colder than Yorkton is Winnipeg.
No.
Appropriately nicknamed Winterpeg.
Yeah.
Nice.
My dad says that he took a customer on a guided fishing trip. They flew into Winnipeg and then took a bush plane a couple hours north, and he said you land like the pontoons right on the water, or they have, I'm sorry, they let me back up. You don't land on the water. They have a little dirt airstrip there that, just a tiny plane. You land out there. There's no roads going in and out. They fly all the trash out every day. And he says it was just the clearest water that you could see almost all the way down to the bottom. Fish or just gigantic trophy fish stuff. And he was like, it's 2:00 in the morning in the summertime and the sun's still out. And you're like, oh, we gotta go to bed and get up in the morning.
So my dad used to work in what I would call the southern part of northern Saskatchewan. So if you look on a map and look for the town called Buffalo Narrows, and then trace it back a little bit, there's a little reserve, indigenous reserve that is on the Peter Pond River. I guess it would be Dillon River, and on Peter Pond Lake. And yeah, when it was snowing and blowing, he would get about partway up there, and then he'd fly the rest of the way in. They would land on the ice on the lake when they had to. But one time they did take it was a little bit of a retreat. So they don't tell anybody. They went into the Air Force had cordoned off. The CFB Cold Lake is just across the border in Alberta, and they had cordoned off a large area. And so at 6:00 in the morning, CF-18s would come rolling right over top of the lake at about 100 feet and, buzz the lake and then, take off and get rolling. So that was the start of their day. And the end of their day, like you said, it was like 3:00 in the morning when the sun started going down, because it's just that far north. So
it's just going to dip below and come right back up.
Yeah.
And
so you slept as best you could. You didn't have an eye mask, you were out of luck.
Yeah. No, that's, like I said, I've my father told me that Manitoba and kind of the northern part of Canada is just absolutely gorgeous. I hear kind of the Banff and Calgary has just got some stunning.
Banff will have some raw beauty to it, because it is basically, when you look, everybody makes a joke about this, but Manitoba has, it comes down. A good chunk of northern Manitoba is still the Canadian Shield, so it's very geologically, it's very rocky, and there's some hills in there. There's lots of copper mining and so on and so forth, and it looks very sparse, even though it's not. Southern Manitoba, Winnipeg, where Jen is, all the way through Saskatchewan is considered flat. And I mean, we do have an average elevation change of at least 6 feet in the province on average, but
right.
Not, don't mess with the average, right? But when we always joke about it, we've pushed our mountains west, and we said, we'd like to see what goes on during the day, and we'd like to see what's coming down the highway, and we'd like to see our dog running away for 3 days. So we just pushed all the mountains to the west and gave them to Alberta.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Not Becca's not talking about the mountains. She's talking about the fish and chips.
Yes.
But Banff, Lake Louise, all of those areas that are considered very touristy in Alberta, apart from Calgary and Edmonton, which are the major cities with airports. That water there is so clear. And Banff, if you ever want to do a hike up a mountain, easily or much easier than actually climbing it, Banff would be the place to go.
Right.
So, and then of course you get into British Columbia, and I mean you're familiar with the interior of BC and of course the Lower Mainland.
Yeah. What is it? Whistler is a place that I'd like to get up to. That's kind of a bucket list ski resort for sure.
I have no desire to hurl myself down a mountain with 2 sticks on my feet.
Not an effing word, Grant. Not a word about hurling yourself down a mountain.
It's like a normal day driving in the car with Brian.
I was going to go earlier when it was like, I want to do my impression of my favorite hypnotist, which is, we're all going to die. But
I thought we were. When you sent me that picture of the, where is it? Leavenworth. You sent me a picture of Leavenworth, and behind the Starbucks and behind the mountain, there was a giant ball of flame and fire. And I thought,
yeah,
I was crashed again.
Trying to share a nostalgic moment of, hey, Grant, that's the Starbucks that we were in when we reviewed the memorial video for the video for Jim's memorial, when we all had a cry in the coffee shop, and then took you guys through the little Bavarian town out there and just watched. We didn't even see the top of the mountains. It was just, it went up and then into the clouds, and I said, it still goes way farther. You come out here in the summer, and so I'm like, I hope Leavenworth is safe from the wildfires. And Grant goes, oh, it's Brian driving again.
Yeah. It was a very interesting moment. Yeah.
So
it always is, even when my car slid off the highway, it's that moment of realization that, okay, whatever happens.
Yeah. It's almost like when
I was there. Grant was kind of like, I couldn't really hear or understand what he was thinking because somebody else was screaming bloody murder behind me.
Yeah. It's quite interesting because it was like a couple of times I'm like, do you want me to drive? Do you want me to drive? Do you want me to drive? And then after
hold on, I'm going to pull a Grant here. To be fair, I offered several times. It was somebody vetoed that decision.
Exactly. But it's one of those that, do you know what? It again, it's your perception, how you reframe things. For me, it was such a great moment because it adds to the adventure of the story. How great that despite what happened, nobody died.
I looked over at you and you just had the look on your face, like almost unfazed. So it was like, hey, everybody's good. And then you just had that look on your face like, yeah, that just really happened.
Yeah.
Like Brian, I bet you feel dumb right now, don't you? Because
it was the fact we just overtook a vehicle, and it was like, I'm like, I need to get one of these because this thing just sticks to the road. And you're like, yeah, it's really good. It's just brilliant in the snow. 360 crosses the traffic, cars flying past us, crashes into the side of the mountain. I'm like, oh, maybe the tires aren't that good.
No, it was like we went 45 degrees and then 90 degrees the other way, and then it was kind of like almost 180, and then we 260 all the way, or 270 all the way back around. But yeah, we will.
But you made it.
Exactly. Yeah. And what's interesting is because of the snow, we went into the side of the mountain. All of that happened. but the damage was minimal. And so to
little tiny dent in the lift gate, but it was
exactly. Which I'm sure you've got plenty of those on there anyway.
So no, so it wasn't that we went into the side of the mountain. It was that all the snow plow had pushed all the snow up against the cement barriers that kept us from falling off the side of the mountain. If that had been just a guardrail there, we might have had a far much more drastic outcome. But for what happened there, but yeah, I think the cool thing is we've got a
great story.
I'm going to kind of quick segue. PHS coming up.
Yes.
So buy your airline tickets.
Yes.
Grant and I've got my airline tickets booked. And then Grant booked his from Las Vegas to Seattle. We still got to get him out to Vegas. But yeah, airfare is looking great right now as far as flights are concerned. So we're going to try to have a much better trip up to the Pacific Northwest.
Yes.
And yeah, that we'll save some stuff of what's going to be coming up, because we'll have some adventures and some fun times.
Yeah.
And then it just depends on when you decide to fly back home.
It's one of those things that, when you have the right people around you, it doesn't matter where you are. You can be at the side of a mountain in the snow. You can be in Las Vegas. It doesn't matter where you are. When you have the right people around you, opportunities happen, adventures happen, memories are created and happen. And with the people, the people here on this live stream, I think no matter where we are in the world, we're going to have fun. We're going to create adventures. Brian's going to crash a car, when we're in Vegas.
You're assuming I'm letting him drive.
Yeah. Oh, please don't let him.
No, it was.
We'll get the tandem bike, me and you, Shawn, and we'll let Brian drive. And again, most of the people involved in PHS, they are people that they're wanting people to either share knowledge or they're wanting to learn knowledge. They are great people, and again, great memories, because performers, especially performers of hypnosis, they are a slightly different breed. We're not always, hypnotherapists are hypnotherapists, and it is great. But when someone's a stage hypnotist as well, you have a little sprinkling of that razzle dazzle. You have a little sprinkling of that performance element. I mean, Michael Brody, you cannot be in a room with Michael Brody and not catch on that infectious energy. And then when he pulls Norbert out, it just takes it to another level,
And for clarification, Norbert is a puppet.
Yes.
I don't know that that's helping a whole lot, Shawn.
So, I've got a little tear just rolling down his face. And again, there's some people that are just great characters that you don't get from just doing hypnosis. You get that from being, years, decades performing on stages and being an entertainer. And so these people know how to deliver. They know how to hold court, and they know how to deliver trainings. They know how to just create those experiences, and then mix in with that the bright lights of Las Vegas. It's just an amazing experience. So I am in awe of it as much as anything else.
Yeah, and I think some of the stuff that I've shared with people before is, the cool thing is, when most people think, oh, I'm going to go spend a weekend in Vegas or 4 or 5 days down there, they think nightclubs, a whole lot of binge drinking. It's not like the Hangover movie. Yeah, there's plenty of people out there doing it, but we tend to stay pretty busy as far as like during the conference. There's conference stuff during the day. By the time you go, grab something to eat, you get back to your hotel room, you change, we link back up afterwards, and we're going down Fremont Street to see Kevin's show, or we're going one place or another, I think there's going to be an opportunity where people are going to have some downtime. And that's, I can't stress this enough, that when you take those couple extra days to come in on either side, if you can get in early, Tuesday or Wednesday, just let your hair down.
Yeah.
Go wander
that's easy
around
for you to say.
Yeah. Don't just let your hair down. Leave your hair at home, Shawn.
I may just do that. I may surprise you guys when I get there.
Oh, Shawn shows up with a mullet and warrants.
I haven't had one of those since the 1980s.
But give yourself time, because how many people fly in and they go, oh, I've flown across the country, I've travel, it's you're sitting on an airplane, but it's just interesting. And then I've got to be switched on to network and be around everybody, absorb all this information, do the network, all that stuff. And then now I've got to travel, go back home, and then I've got to go start my work week.
Yeah.
Not all of us are superhuman like Shawn. But
I will say this, and
I prefer the term well seasoned.
Yeah, hypnosis has been great for me, and I've traveled the world doing it. One of the things that I learned very kind of halfway through my career, I say halfway through, partway through, is sometimes I prided myself. That's how tired I am. I can't even use the English. I was proud of the fact of I would zoom into a place, get it done, get booked in, do the show, back on the road and off again. And doing so, like at one point a couple of years ago, it was literally like Thailand, Singapore, Vietnam, back to the UK, then over to St. Louis, and it was great. It looks great, but you weren't experiencing the places like you could do. And just by taking an extra day either side, you can really experience the places that you're going to, the different cultures. Like whenever I go to St. Louis now, there's like the old town, and I'll always spend an extra day to just go down there, and lots of people fly out on the Sunday of the conference to get back home.
Grant wants to go running around St. Louis and play ballistic hide and seek.
Oh, absolutely. But you find that, especially at conferences, there'll be people. Great example in Detroit that's just happened. A local who's a friend of mine has gone, there's a community theatre that has puppet karaoke on. Let's go to that. Went to that. An amazing experience. I will say one of the most joyful rooms I've ever been in. It was just amazing. Complete, absolute joy. If it had just been rushing from place to place like I normally would have done, I'd have missed that. Last year in Detroit, I ended up arriving halfway through Richard Cole's, Hypnosis show. Take that extra time, to just land, find your feet a little bit, find the area so you've got your bearings, and then experience the conference. Take a day or two afterwards to kind of go, I've had some learning. Now, whilst I'm here, I'll experience a little bit of the local culture as well. Rather than just flying in and flying out. It looks great on Instagram having that type of lifestyle, but you miss out on so much. When I did cruise ships, it was just, the cruise port, the ships, but you don't necessarily know all of the places that you've been to.
Yeah, how many people go, there's a certain amount of, I want to fit as much as I can into a trip, but especially and this is one of the things that my friend Brent will likely speak on at the conference, is utilizing your business to basically pay for vacations. So something like this, you can, you should be able to write this off as some type of continuing education or whatever it is, and then go, while I'm here, let me go take in some of the sites. Or if you're performing and you're traveling to Miami or Denver or whatever, what's a couple of local attractions that you'd like to see? Give yourself that extra day. And if you have to eat a hotel room and some meals, well, you're already having to get there and back.
Yeah.
And so kind of turn that into an experience. And then Nora says, visit Frankie's Tiki Room. So I've got that pulled up. That looks like it is...
might be pineapples there, Brian, just so you know.
I don't think they serve pizza at a tiki bar, so I think I'm safe. And that looks like that's going to be north excuse me, north of the strip, but up by the outlet malls. So I'm looking at the maps. Like there's the Mob Museum, it's up Fremont Street. Yeah, go on the zip line and just go let yourself have some fun.
Yeah. And gamble.
Nora says it's fun, no pizzas. Lots of other stuff.
Lots of booze. There's lots of booze all over Vegas.
Yeah. Nora also says that Michael and Norbert are fantastic, and they're coming to Ohio in March to perform.
Oh, at her 25th anniversary as a hypnotist.
So we will make sure to shout that out in March. Yeah. Write that down, Brian.
Yeah.
I'm planning on trying to get over for that myself, actually. Nora is an amazing person, and if Norbert is going to be there, then any opportunity I can have to put my hand in Norbert, I will take it.
So that's a Norbert can tickle your Elmo.
Absolutely.
But no, we joke about there's a lot of booze in Vegas and stuff like that. For the people that are attending, we encourage.
You guys hear that train?
Yeah.
Coming through? Yeah.
Just
this is why you wear pants in a podcast.
Yeah. for people that are coming out, if you're gonna partake in drinking, please do so responsibly. We're not there to babysit, but also don't feel compelled that you're not going to fit in, or
you don't need to. I don't drink. You don't need to drink to have fun in Vegas. But like Brian says, Brian says, if you're going to do it responsibly. I say, listen, do you know what? You're in Vegas. Have fun. Be irresponsible.
I'm not babysitting.
Irresponsibly irresponsible. Exactly. It's about finding that joy, Mm-hmm. And it's weird, especially with conferences and trainings and stuff. Sometimes we can get caught up in that. It feels like work stuff. It's not. It's everybody getting together and just sharing the love that we have of hypnosis, the love that we have of performing, and doing it in the city that it was designed for.
Yeah, and remember, because you're at Vegas, there is no HR department there with you.
Yeah, and they don't really have open container laws out there, so you can. It's hilarious. You see people walking with these big, gigantic, plastic. I don't know what the hell they're called, but it's like the funnel it's like a martini glass funnel at the top and a big bulb at the bottom and a cylinder thing with the 3-foot straw in there, and they're like
containers now, aren't we, Brian?
What's that?
Says we are talking about drinks containers now, aren't we, Brian?
Yes.
if we could just clarify this.
Yeah, it was like the martini
does not sound like a drinks container.
Didn't say that I wanted to put my hand in a male person's name, but no, there's you're going to see quite the variety of people out there.
A whole different side of humanity. Let's put it that way. And some sides you probably don't want to see.
Yes.
Yeah. What was it like? We were. I don't want to say we were walking through the Venetian, but we were walking through somewhere over there with the McLaren dealerships, and it was we just walked into the high roller suites, and there was a guy who was like, "Oh my God, how much was on that table?" Yeah, the guy was betting $1 million a hand, and I was like, "This is crazy."
And then 4 or 5 steps away from that, you can see someone that is just homeless and destitute. It is craziness as a sitter.
Yeah. But when we go out and do stuff, we obviously want to have safety in numbers, and just be cognizant of what you have on you, and don't leave drinks unattended. But we always want to look out for one another, and just really have a good time.
Yeah, Becca says she's such a lightweight, though, but she will be responsible.
Becca's tiny. You just throw her over your shoulder and be like, "All right, let's go."
What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, Brian.
Yeah.
It's all good. So yes, speaker submissions close sometime between September 30th and September 31st. We'll call it October 1st.
Well, it's already October 1st at your house, Grant. So,
well, in Grant's world, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That sounds like a TV show.
So when is the cutoff, Grant?
It'll probably be the end of the 1st of October, but I think I will go to your end of the 1st of October.
Okay.
Because like I say, it's weird when if I was to say the midnight at the end of the 30th, it would already be cut off on my side. Yeah. So
which is in a few hours.
Yeah. So I think it's better to work off your time frame or the least time frame, if you know what I mean, and then do it and work backwards.
Yeah, but for those of you that are still considering it, please make sure you get those in as soon as possible. Once the cutoff is done, then we start finalizing the schedule. We have it on good authority from Dan that once we have it, we lock it.
The schedule is already locked in. It's locked.
That's all Dan said. The schedule is locked.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, nobody's going to mess with Dan on that one. So once we lock it, that's it. Don't mess with us. You either made the schedule or you didn't. So,
Bill, and it's also important so that people can see who the speakers are, who they're flying out to see. So we definitely want to get that established and published as soon as we can, and then just kind of work from there. Plan our activities and things like that. I saw a post from Michael DeShalit. He got to go drive in a race car around the Las Vegas Motor Speedway.
Yeah. And that's what it is as well. It's what makes it slightly different from a lot of other conferences as well, where it isn't just about, I want to go see this particular speaker. It is a summit. It's a gathering of people of a similar ideas. It's not just a case of let's sit and watch other people. A lot of the speakers are attendees as well, and so it's a case of stage hypnotists, performers. We don't get a chance to work together. We are solopreneurs a lot of the time. This is a place for us all to get together. And let's not forget, it's a place that hypnotherapists that have an interest in the performance side of things can come along and pick some tips and tricks up. Great to see this week another great hypnotherapist, Claudia Rickard, has crossed over into the dark side and is now doing comedy shows as well. And exactly.
It's been a long time since we've had Claudia on the show. We should reach out to her.
Absolutely. And again, it's great to see that, because there's another level of learning that hypnotherapists have by doing stage stuff. They don't have to go out and do a comedy show, but learning some of the techniques about presentation, about stage presence, about stage craft is only going to help them with their own clients, with their own workshops and all of those types of things as well. Yeah. So, there's lots of people involved in the stage hypnosis world that will probably never go on to have a career as a stage hypnotist, but knowing the techniques, it's going to help them with business networking, with corporate events, just their own toast presentations, talks, live streams. It's that level of skill that they're getting. And learning to speak publicly and do stuff like what we do online on live streams is the one marketing tool that it just gives you so much more bang for your buck than anything else. By putting your face out there, by communicating what you do in a clear, concise way to your audience, is going to get you clients. It's going to get you booked. It's going to raise your authority as a hypnotist, not just in your local town, but around the world.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it sounds like I've said that before.
Yeah. No, and then any word on any type of pre workshop or anything like that?
Yeah, Joe Beth is doing a really interesting workshop. And the workshop is aimed about getting people out there doing shows, getting the right marketing material, getting rid of the obstacles that are in the way, and actually getting shows booked. And we're looking for those that are involved in that to actually get a show that can be done at the end. So you start, and by the time you've finished, you're actually going to be doing a performance. Joe Beth words it perfectly. It's like kicking those little birds out of the nest.
Mm-hmm. So I know we've got a little bit of stuff left to do, but that will be, we'll have an announcement when that's published on the website, correct?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay. So yeah, get your airline tickets, book, get your hotel reservations. I think it's like a $50 or $55 deposit just to reserve your room.
Yeah, you don't have to. Yeah, when you book your room, you don't have to pay for the whole room booking in one go.
Yeah,
you pay a deposit for one night, and then they just hold that until your first night, if you know what I mean. So here's the thing with a lot of time with these conferences. What I like to say, this is not what I do. This is what I like to say, is if there's a conference I want to go to, I will book the room. So I've got the room block. And then if you decide later on that you're not going for whatever reason, if you cancel it, you're only losing that one night's kind of room rate. So,
well, and I think I think with Gold Coast, there's I think if you cancel everything beforehand, I think they go. I think it's like 24 or 48 hour something or other. But while they've been awesome at helping us out, this past year when people kind of had some last minute changes, hey, I can go, things like that. They've been accommodating, but it's not something that, if you run into a situation where at the last minute you are able to go, we'd like to call in those favors, kind of only as possible. We don't want it to be everybody waited until the last minute. Now we need them to open back up 30 rooms.
Yeah.
So, and then if there's people that want to share rooms or whatever and split the cost, those are options too that you can work out with whoever it is that you're gonna kind of partner up with. But the most important thing is we would love to see you, and it's a pretty casual environment. You don't need to be dressed up in suit and tie or anything like that. Unless you're presenting, we want you to.
Pants are not optional.
Pants are not. No, is that a double negative, Shawn?
That was emphasis.
I
placed extra emphasis on the not.
Oh, sorry.
Like, let's see.
Double negative.
Optional. It's not optional. Then not. It's like, so the sum of that verbal equation is
if you have
pants are required.
If you have a Starfleet uniform, you will be admitted.
Okay.
Or a Superman costume.
That's true.
I'm like, we may have to bring Deadpool into this, but I'm not sure. But Grant, you've got so kind of, I don't want to say your local shows, but folks in the UK that want to come see you for your public shows.
Yeah.
Because we do know that the UK kind of heavily regulates hypnosis as a whole.
No, it doesn't heavily regulate. There's a weird misconception. There's a consent we have to get from the local council. And
right.
There's lots of people that kind of go, you
like
can
the
get
permission and stuff.
All it basically for is it's just us Brits. We like to legislate common sense. So because we had some issues in the past, what they do is the local council want to know that the performer has performed before in the professional, that they've got public liability insurance and everything's above board. And so, some people try and get around not applying for that. That's what that is, if you know what I mean. So it's,
So you have shows in Skegness or Skeg Vegas, as you call it.
They call it Skeg Vegas. There's actually a big sign. I can't remember where it was, but I perform there regularly. But they have a big, looks like a Vegas, welcome to Vegas sign, but it does say welcome to Skeg Vegas. And what's interesting is I posted that, and it was around about the time of HTL, and loads of people thought I was in Vegas for HTL. I'm like, no, I'm in Skeg Vegas. Yeah. So I mean, 2026, I have a fantastic season there as well. Still have a few shows left there this year, but 2026 is looking fantastic.
And then what nights, what days of the week are you generally performing out there?
Those are Tuesdays for Skeg Vegas.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's a Club Tropicales.
And then Gloucester.
Gloucester? Never been there in my life.
Did I pronounce it? Did I completely butcher it?
Yeah, that's Gloucestershire.
It's what?
Gloucestershire.
Gloucestershire?
Gloucestershire.
Okay, one of you guys at a time.
Gloss.
Gloucestershire.
Gloucestershire.
Oh, I think I put that sauce on my steak before I cook it.
No, that's Worcester. Sorry.
That's Worcester sauce.
Shire. Is that kind of a county in
yes.
So
that's Whitemead. So Whitemead, I've been there for 15, 16 years now. I should mix the show up a little bit, to be fair. So that's we've got a great Halloween show there as well. Interestingly, you'll know this, Brian, whenever I go to the States, the entertainment manager from that venue always gives me a shopping list of stuff that I've got to get her from Target.
That's why we went shopping when you were here. And
exactly. I still ended up going to Target in Jamaica, Queens, to pick up the other bits and bobs as well. So, yeah.
Oh, when you were flying back.
Yes.
Because last year, earlier this year, you went from Seattle to New York, and then and then on to. Did you fly right into Manchester?
I can't remember. No, Gatwick.
Oh, okay. And then you took a long ass car ride home.
Yeah, so into Gatwick, then into Cannes, then up, and then I think I had a show in Bridlington.
Okay.
So,
and then
there you go, Brian. Nora put it in there phonetically for you.
Oh yeah.
Perfect, Nora. You sound like a local.
Becca says it. All right, Shawn, you get to do the comments.
Yeah. You two fighting over the button then.
Yeah, it's and then Cornwall.
Well done. Well, we're getting there. It's like English 101.
British 101.
Yeah. So I do quite a lot down in Cornwall. Cornwall's it's a stunning part of
that's down on the southern coast, right?
Couldn't get more southern, yeah. Absolutely right down there.
Well, so it so happens that Saskatchewan, is goes further south than
possibly.
Australia kind of goes further south than.
Yes.
Right.
Antarctica is about as far south as you can get.
Yeah. So I always like joke about stage hypnosis is not that a lot of stage hypnotists aren't that busy here in the UK, if you know what I mean. But if you put the work in, there is work there. Like one venue that I do in Cornwall probably gives me, as many shows as I don't know. I can get 12, 13 shows out of a venue over the year. That's just one Cornwall show.
Yeah.
So there is work out there, and a lot of that work is work that's been generated, not stolen. So I have this thing of, if another hypnotist works a venue, that's their venue. They're not going to get an email from me poaching them. The amount of times, and here's my top tip for any stage hypnotist, anyone new to the industry, don't go, oh, that venue already has hypnotists on. I'll send them my stuff and try and either undercut or do another show. Or the worst pet hate is when a hypnotist comes to see a show, and then will come and befriend me. Yeah. And then contact the venue. Don't find your own work, create new markets. Most of those markets, not all of them, one of them, two of them, I actually take back, two of them, other hypnotists work beforehand. All the other venues that I have residencies at were ones that have come from, have you had a hypnosis show here before? And they're like, no. I'm like, would you consider one in your variety kind of entertainment? And I've ended up, being from, they start off one show a year, then they go, do you know what, let's get you in for all the holidays, and then it becomes, let's get you in for the whole season. And working it that way, I can get more shows from one venue in 1 year than what a lot of my, colleagues do in a whole year for their whole season, if you know what I mean. So you've got to do it right.
That's right. And speaking of doing it right, Nora says Grant would say we gave you a perfectly good language and you messed it up.
Yes.
Oh.
American.
We've got a revolutionary word that says otherwise.
And yet the rest of us put U's in our words.
Yes.
Overachievers.
Well, it's keeping up with the Joneses, right?
Yeah.
Grant, you hit on a pretty important point, and I think whether you're on the clinical side or on the performing side, if you are in this to help people in the long run, if you're in this to entertain people in the long run, you have to learn that business side. You have to learn how to relate to your customers. Because like you said, how do you get all this? Well, you figured out how to relate to those people, and on a level that hey, if you've done this, can you do this? Yeah, absolutely. And you build that relationship.
Yeah.
And I've said this all along, even back when I was the IT manager. The business that we do, regardless of whether it's on the the IT side or the hypnosis side or whatever, it's all about relationships. It's all about getting to know the people that are out there, what they can do for you, how you can help them, and you capitalize on it.
Yeah. Gone are the days of like the 1980s sales of where it's, how can I win? If you can help everybody else win, what are your needs? If the amount of times that a venue is contacting me and it's not right for a hypnosis show, it's especially not right for my hypnosis show, and I'll kind of go, what you need is a magician. You need this, you need that. I'm serving them better. That then means later on when they, do decide that they need a hypnotist for something else, they trust my judgment because I didn't try to sell to them before. We have got to, especially in this industry, we have got to serve the clients and make sure that they're happy first, not go, oh, someone's having a 90th birthday party or 90th celebration, whatever it is, business, to kind of go, oh, do you know what? I'll shoehorn my hypnosis show in there and it not be right. Because that way clients come away having had a bad experience when you could have gone, you don't need a hypnosis show for night. I've done a 90th birthday party and it was loads of fun. Don't get me wrong. Would I push that as a niche market? Not my market.
Someone's 90th birthday party, just just cut loose.
Oh yeah. You're going to really dilute the show down. Would they have done better to have a Rat Pack singer and a walk around magician? Absolutely. They could have better spent that budget for a better event, which would have meant that agents were making more money on commissions, and everybody could have won. But back in those days, I'm like, I want that money. It made it about me, not about them. So I was trying to get my square peg into their round hole. Sounds a bit dodgy.
No, and I think that's where every, when you come in and say, by hiring me, and you're looking at this from like the client's point of view, I own a venue, and the person comes in and says, if you Brian, if you hire me, this is what I bring to the table. This is how it's going to, increase your revenues, or, we can do whatever it is. I'm making money, you're making money. It's beneficial for all of us, rather than, hey, if I can get this dude to cut me a check before I go on stage and the check clears and I'm a one and done, that's, now you've got to go find, the next venue, and hope that the telephone and email and text and social media stuff doesn't get ahead of you. And in these days, that's probably you're going to lose that race.
Yeah.
I'll go, hey, this person screwed me over and did a crap show.
Here's the thing. Doesn't matter if you do a crap show. So I'll not mention the venue, but I've worked with a venue that is now a residency. Next year is I think it's worth 13 shows to me next year.
Mm-hmm.
5 years ago, in fact, probably longer than that, before the pandemic, I did one show there. It was average. I did another show there. I died on my ass. It was terrible. They'd refurbed the venue. It's a massive venue. They refurbed it. They took away some of the theatre seating at the front and put in a dance floor of death. The show was terrible.
That's because the audience was farther away from you.
Of course, yeah.
Instead of being up front, yeah.
Yeah. But it don't matter. The show was terrible. Their experience was terrible. The booker experience, it was an embarrassment there. I could have let my ego be hurt and let my pride get in the way and kind of go, it was the audience's fault, yada, yada, yada. I still maintained contact with that venue for 5 years after that. The Ents manager always kind of got the happy birthday, happy Christmas, happy this, happy that. They kept that relationship building for years. And then it was kind of like, they go, do you know what? Let's give it another try. They gave it another try. It was a great show. They gave it another try. It was a great show. It's now booked in. I have 13 shows there in 2026.
Yeah. Now when they were bringing you back, was it more of a, hey, we identified what went wrong and we can bring in additional chairs or additional seating that goes over the dance floor or cover the dance floor up so that it doesn't, or did they just, how did they fix that?
They had another venue, a smaller venue, that they needed something filling on one particular night, and they've gone, do you know what? We'll give you a try on that one, see what it's like.
Yeah.
And I knew, because of the bad previous show, I knew I had to smash it out the park.
Right.
I had to not just bring the A game, I had to absolutely smash it out the park so that every member of staff there will go back to their team meetings and their regional managers and all that lot and go, wow, what an amazing show that was. Then they have to go, oh, do you know what? Let's give it another try at this venue. And that's exactly what happened. And then you go and because I can say, I want all of these things fulfilling. They're not interested. They just want their clients to be happy.
Right.
But I now know how it's going to be. So I'm there earlier and putting in more legwork, putting in more effort. And here's the secret to a lot of this stuff. It's the effort that you put in. I don't need to be up at 3 o'clock in the morning on a podcast.
Right.
But I do, because you've got to put that effort in to keep your name out there and keep delivering value to your audience, to other people, and all of those things. So by getting there earlier, I can suss out the room more. I can put out table cards. I can do all of that work to make sure that I smash it out the park again. And that, again, paid dividends. Every show at that venue since then has been smashed out the park. And now, like I say, 2026, that one venue is worth 13 shows. Plus the other little venue, which had a great show. They've got 10 shows in as well. Now, I could have quite gone, that was a terrible show. I'm butthurt and just get embarrassed and then just leave and not still keep contact with the venue because they had a bad experience.
Are there any venues that you've worked in that they have an interest in kind of, they're not next door to each other, but they might be close by where they have, instead of a competitive mindset, it's more of a collaborative where it's like, go see Grant's show here, and then at that show it's, hey, thanks for coming out, go, I'm going to be at this thing, go check out this restaurant or some other places in the area, where it's, hey, let's all work together, where we want people to come down or come out to our locations.
That's
for
why
not just a show.
That's why I like to work with groups rather than an individual community venue. I want to work with, a lot of my Cornwall owned by the same company, but they have multiple venues or multiple units. Because if it's got multiple units, it's guaranteed that, let's say, I'll give an example. Let's say a particular group of venues or nightclubs that's owned by the same people. In the UK, it used to be First Leisure. All of those managers will be in a group chat or a WhatsApp. All of those managers will have that thing. You do a good show in one, all the managers of the other ones will know about it. They'll then want their venue as well. So it then becomes a collaboration between all of those.
Yeah. And then with, what's it called? I had a really good question. No, so for anybody who's watching in the UK or is going to be traveling out to the UK, and they want to get tickets for your show, where would they find your public shows? Is there a web link or something that?
Yeah, I mean, drop me a message on any of my socials. A couple of years ago, I used to always list all of my shows on my website. I list my shows on my websites now, just because of the amount of hypnotists that then contact my venues to try and steal shows. I don't want to give them a menu of venues that they can steal.
Right. Okay.
But if I'm four-walling a show, then I'll put that on the website. But I only four-wall like 3 shows a year now. And again, those shows are ones where I use it as a showcase to showcase my show.
No, that's interesting.
Yeah.
And before, I know Shawn put the whole thing of place your bets on whether Grant is a friend or a frenemy. While we're letting people do that, what advice would you have for anybody who's starting out? Like, what is if you had to put together or kind of list a comedy hypnotist 101 introductory, this is like the minimum kit that you need to go out on stage?
The minimum you need to go out on stage, you just need you. Lots of people put barriers in the way. Highlight reels, promotional pictures, good microphone, good sound system, all of this stuff. That's all noise. Just get yourself out there and do it. The more reps that you do, the better you will get. As you go along, earn money, reinvest that money in training, do better shows, reinvest that money in kit, do better shows, reinvest that money in marketing, do better shows.
So I guess I'll kind of try to reframe it. Is once you're at that point where, hey, I've got a couple of gigs under my belt, or if I want to go out there and bring a camera, or something to where I can record the show, so one, I can watch it back and critique myself. 2, liability. But what are kind of some first things that you
even the first show, liability? Because if something goes wrong and it all goes tits up, that will kill yours and everyone else's career.
Yeah. What are some of the first purchases that you would recommend?
For me, I think the first big purchase is get a good microphone. And that's your microphone then. So I'll turn up a lot of times where they've got loads of PA, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of pounds worth of equipment, but I'm still using my microphone. It's mine. I anchor my power to that grip on that microphone. That's mine. After that, I would then say headshots. You know, after that, I would then say website.
Right.
You know, EPKs and highlight reels. We talk about this all the time, so I'm always getting that done. EPK
is the elect.
Yeah,
it's like your digital brochure.
Yeah, and they're great. They are great, but the reality is in the early days, maybe you needed it more. Nowadays, the problem is like a lot of my promo stuff is old stuff, because I'm not getting booked on a highlight reel I've put out there. I get booked on my reputation and the stuff that I output on my social media, on my YouTube, and all of that stuff already. So my reputation and my website is my EPK. But a lot of people can spend a lot of money on. I remember I always used to have loads of posters made, like posters. Now I don't have posters made. I have headshots, because it's absolutely guaranteed that all of the top people in the industry that Al Pacino doesn't have a poster made for Al Pacino. He's got headshots for his acting career.
Right.
He doesn't have this thing that's Al Pacino actor. As in all of that stuff. We can get caught up in the busy work rather than the actual work that gets your bookings and pushes the needle forward.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. My reputation precedes me. Otherwise, I'd be late for all my appointments.
Yeah, it's I mean, it definitely, and I think having the headshots, and I'm still working on having a professional photographer and videographer come down, and if that's something that you might be able to work into, where people can get some updated, kind of like some basic headshots or whatnot, that then with the transparent background that you could put into for posters, or I'm sorry, digital posters and things like that you can kind of like what we do with the Hypnosis Hero on Facebook and Instagram and stuff like that. We just go in and the template's there, we just edit the guest each week. So those are things that you can have as far as any promo material that you want to put into. You've at least got something that's you.
Yeah, and it's good. It's good to give the client. And here's a weird thing: it's like a double-edged sword sometimes. Like when I used to do the posters, if I've done the poster for a venue and it doesn't sell tickets on their side of things, I'm on a flat fee anyway. But I do them a poster and that doesn't work for their audience and it doesn't sell tickets. I have to take an element of responsibility for that.
Mm-hmm.
So I like to send them a headshot and an action shot and a whatever shot that they can create a poster, because they understand their audience and their community and what works. And then that way, if it doesn't work, it's not on me.
Right. That's what I was saying, is that basically, like, take me. I've got the blur, if the blurry cutout is just all transparent, you've got me. I have a file that I can send, or a full torso, or just from here, just a regular headshot that they can then use to. Oh, depends on if I'm wearing a kilt or not, if a piano is involved.
A kilt or a plaid skirt.
Well, with my height, it might be a plaid dress, but no, I think those are valuable things that when you come to the table and go, I'm going to try to make your life as easy as possible to help promote and make all of us money.
Yeah,
because I'm sure we've all dealt with any type of professional, whether it's a plumber, electrician, dentist, whatever, somebody who's providing service, and you just go, oh my God, this is like pulling teeth.
Do you know a secret tip that really helps? And it's only because I'm so tired that I'm giving this away.
Right.
Whatever it is that you're working, add $100 to your fee.
Mm-hmm.
And then spend that $100 on Facebook ads promoting that show in that area. Because what's that doing, even if it's not to people that's going to come to your show, it's promoting you to 20 or 30 kilometers of that show.
Yeah.
That works so well for people.
We just brought back our tech tip, Shawn. that is amazing.
But it works as well because the client goes, "Oh my God, you did that!" So that they think you're giving them so much more, and you don't tell them you're going to do that, but you just do that. But you're then promoting so much better, and it's the show that is marketing you.
I hired this guy, and he put butts in seats.
Exactly, because that's what you want. You want to make sure. Don't rely on venues to do the promotion sometimes. So just like I say, $100, it's not a lot. It's not going to have a massive, massive impact, but it's going to get people, to see your name. It's going to get people to see your highlight reel, to see your promotional images, and the venue is going to see that you're doing that as well.
Yeah.
So it's delivering value. How can I help you win?
Yeah, that's amazing.
Unless you obviously work in the UK market, and then Facebook ads don't work.
Well, Penman heard that.
Yeah. No, I think that's a great strategy.
Yeah. And that's the thing as well. Is again, it's about time in the game. Don't rush.
So if you're going to spend $150 on Facebook ads, what is that something where they're running a couple times a day, or sort of what's a rough understanding?
Ads could be. I mean, that's a 3-hour show in and of itself. I could show you a screenshot of my spend on. In fact, can I show you a screenshot of my spend on Facebook over the years? You would be shocked at how much money I've spent on Facebook ads trying to figure out how to.
Let's jump on a Zoom tomorrow and answer the question. I know that we're going to want to let you boogie soon, and you've been amazing spending almost a couple hours with us.
Yeah. So also, I think the sun is not far off coming up here.
So
we've got Coach Mike, who joined us a little bit ago, and he's he and I have been kind of talking a little bit here about a few different people that we've met at HTL over the years, and again, around the business of hypnosis. But he asked the question: have you ever done ads in the local movie theater?
I want to. I think local movie theaters. I'm not going to take credit for this. I had this idea a few years ago, but then someone else in France really ran with it. I think movie theaters are great venues for hypnosis shows. You've already got the tiered seating. A lot of them have got the stages there already. I don't know about in the States, but I know here in the UK.
Yeah.
And a lot of movie theaters now aren't filling the seats like they used to. So when I first approached a movie theater about putting on a show in there, and it was only because there was a theater that opened locally, and all my only thinking was they had purple seats, and I just thought my show would look brilliant.
Your show would blend in, that's for sure.
Exactly. And when I spoke to them about it, they wanted $10 or $15 per seat. So they wanted the ticket price that they would get if there was a film on, if it was a full house. And I wanted to go, when was the last time you had a full house? And we never went anywhere with it. But then I think it's Alex, I can't remember his name, is French, I believe. And he did a tour of shows in movie theaters in France, and it looked like it worked brilliantly. So no, I've not done adverts in movie theaters, only because if for me, it's the demographic. People that go to movies are film watchers. I don't know if they are theater goers.
Right.
And so it's trying to find that right demographic.
I could see it working in certain venues. You want to be mindful, especially of the depth of the stage.
Yes.
Otherwise, you're going to be out front of everything, and it'll be right on the ground, and that presents other technical.
Yeah, I was going to say in the States, I think our theaters are, you basically have the front row a little bit of space, and then it's just a big screen. There's not really much of a stage per se.
Yeah.
But some of these older theaters, like for example here in Yorkton, definitely they're not even open all week. They will open on like Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, and maybe on Sunday, depending on what they're doing. But Wednesday's show is always a show from like the 1900s ish, shall we say? So they would show like an Indiana Jones trilogy over 3 weeks or something like that, or Back to the Future.
Oh, nice.
The other shows are whatever happens to be current, give or take a month, because it takes a little while to get to these smaller theaters. But being an older theater, there is some depth to the stage. So,
no, those are all good ideas.
Yeah, I tell you what worked really well for marketing a show, and I know Fraser did this last year for his Edinburgh Fringe show, and that's billboard advertising. So I'm quite lucky that I have a friend that actually has a big like A-board trailer, and so he has a big Land Rover that he pulls that with. So for a show that we were doing, we had a massive billboard made and put onto this trailer. So that I think it was 8 meters by 3 meters. So it's a decent sized trailer that was just parked up on a busy main road. And literally you saw, and that was for a 4-walled show, and you saw the ticket sales just go through the roof. That worked really well. So like roadside does well.
Yeah, you're seeing a lot of, at least kind of in my area, you're seeing a lot more of like your digital billboards where they can just go point, click, it's something new. We made a mistake. There's a typo in it. All right, rather than some dude with a broom and glue and pushing stuff up there.
Yeah.
Well, Brian, we're getting close to that time.
Yeah,
because I know, like when the sun comes up, Grant
turns into a pumpkin. Pumpkin spice latte.
Fantastic. It's been really good. This.
No, I will stick with my caramel macchiato extra hot.
Nice.
And I'll just do hot chocolate with extra whipped cream.
Don't you like the unicorn sprinkles on that as well, Brian?
Only when you and Jim hit a when you guys hit a winning spin on roulette and physically block me from placing a bet that would have paid a shit ton of money.
I mean, that's the thing with PHS though. It's like, is 17 Black going to come in again?
I think that's the bet.
Yeah. That's at least something that we're going to have to. So I would say we have to play 17 Black.
Yeah. Just
in honor of Jim, and if we throw a $20 bill to the casino gods, okay, we'll buy a little karma, but then you picked another number, and said, hey, it's going to be either this or this, and I think I split my bet and it hit one of them.
Yeah,
and then we tried to get in Washington. You and I struck out, but somebody else didn't.
Exactly.
It was like, I don't know what to do with the money here, and do I count it? I'm like, oh God, you're twisting the knife in my hometown. but yeah, I'm Grant. I can't tell you how excited I am for you to come back up to Washington.
Yeah.
We'll go do some fun stuff, but I'm also really excited to see everybody back at PHS this year, and looking forward to see who going through and reviewing the speaker submissions and things like that, because I think this is going to be, I think you would agree with me that our goal every is in all the promo stuff that we're doing is to go, this is going to be the best one yet.
Yes.
And always try to improve. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So
we're always to improve. And I think this year's motto is like, let's not lose loads of money.
Yeah. So, well, yeah, I think it's time for friend or frenemy, kind of a review. If people are going to last chance to place your bets, And Grant, I know you gotta scoot, but if you would indulge us in maybe a quick hypnosis for the people that are watching, maybe if somebody has some travel anxieties or just needs to get some restful healing sleep.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So, great.
We'll do a quick
ask the question first. You got to answer the question. Grant, well, you know what the question is, because anybody who knows us and knows Jim knows what the question is. Mm-hmm. Grant Saunders, does pineapple belong on pizza?
I can say this now. I do quite like pineapple on pizza.
Oh,
and you see, I knew this. and we'll still call you a friend.
Yeah, there's a thing to it where the acidity of the pineapple actually...
Becca, you thought wrong. I feel absolutely betrayed. Oh. Grant, I thought we were friends.
We should convince you on that. No, pineapple is good.
Wait, Shawn, did he get Bob Martin?
Yeah.
Well, we'll introduce Bob to Grant, and we'll see what we can do.
See if we can. I hope Bob can make PHS. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
If he was gonna to do a speaking presentation out there, that would be even better. As long as he doesn't pull me up on stage as a volunteer and go shrink my brain. I'm like, all right, I want to understand what the hell he's doing instead of being the guinea pig.
See, in trying to understand what Bob does, that's where you lose it. That's where he has you, because you're trying to understand something that he's already.
I need what you did, what you had, Shawn, where Bob was talking with somebody, and then you had someone else giving you the play-by-play, going, "Okay, here's the why, how, and the what for," and the.
It was We'll tell this one really quick, and then we'll let Grant do the hypnosis portion of the show. But it was absolutely phenomenal. So I had Bob Martin standing beside me on this side. I had Scott King on this side. Scott was talking to a young lady, and Bob was okay, and Scott's doing this, and Scott's doing that. And it was like, okay, what the hell? Which conversation am I supposed to follow here? But it was absolutely phenomenal, because the lady that Scott was talking to had no idea that I was standing beside him, or that Bob was interpreting everything Scott was doing. She was in the moment with Scott. Conversational hypnosis was happening.
Yeah.
And yes, Becca remembers the episode where Brian got bobbed. That's why we call him Bob the Rebuilder.
Yes, absolutely.
So,
all right. As always, we have a little bit of a disclaimer. Make sure that you are safe as we get into the hypnosis portion here. If you need to focus on your current circumstances, you're driving, you're cooking, whatever, turn this off, pause it, come back to it later. It's recorded. It'll be on YouTube for as long as YouTube exists, I guess. But definitely make sure you are safe, and we will, of course, let Grant do the hypnosis portion of the show, because Grant's a hypnotist.
Apparently so. And so just anybody watching that wants to kind of let go and go into that hypnosis now, all I want you to do is just make yourself comfortable. You know the ritual, the routine that you need to do. Rest your arms by your side on your lap. Plant your feet into the floor. Take a big deep breath in through your nose. Hold it, and then just slowly let that all out. Take all that air out of those lungs, and then just, again, fill those lungs all the way up. Hold it, and then as you exhale, just allow those eyes to close. Or you may choose, whilst you're listening and watching to this, to still focus your attention and keep those eyes open. But if you want to really use your imagination, if you really want to let go, now is the time to just close those eyes and focus your mind. And as you do so, you can think of how it feels to just let go. And you can take those moments where you can think and wander, or you can just switch off and let go. And sometimes in those moments, you realize that new learnings can take place. Things that you knew before, learnings from the past that are there in the back of your mind, but can now somehow come forward and give you a real understanding of how you feel now. As you noticing yourself just letting go a little bit more, as you trust yourself into this process, a process that you've probably experienced hundreds of times before. But this time you can really allow yourself to just feel different. You can allow yourself almost a permission to choose to make a change. And that change could be just to trust yourself enough, to let go enough that you can have that profound experience with your hypnosis that you know that you want to have. And like I said, you've probably been through this process many times before. But this time, I want you to really open that door. Allow yourself to go inside and really explore your inner self. And in there, you'll know there's that thing that you wanted to change. And not a big change, not something dramatic, but just a little thing that you wanted to tweak. And like when you cook a new recipe, you can go through the steps and go through the motions and add the ingredients and do the measurements. But then once you've done these things repeatedly, you get to a point where you can experiment a little bit. You can change the formula a little bit. And by doing so, you can change the outcome just a little bit. But this little bit is the thing that makes the difference for you. It's the thing that really helps you achieve those goals. It helps you have that confidence in yourself to go on that journey, to take those steps, and to do it with a sense of confidence, to do it with a sense of excitement of how it will feel to just change that little thing, to just step outside of your comfort zone a little bit. And all the time you are excited about the new discoveries that these tweaks will make. And your unconscious mind can go through all of the different outcomes. It can go through all of the different pathways and all of the different things that your life has before you now. But here's the thing. It's that area deep inside your mind right now that realizes that now really is the time to make that change, to allow yourself to be open to new discoveries, to new learnings, or even just a new experience of complete comfort, of relaxation. It may be that you find yourself open to anything, open to the feelings of being confident and happy, open to the feelings of being carefree. And when you say carefree, it's more about enabling you to just do what you want to do without any fears, knowing that everything is going to be okay. As you go through life, you learn many different things. And that life is always going to give you new stories, new adventures, new moments that when you look back to them, they make you smile. And this could be one of those. Or it could be that tonight when you go to bed, you have a wonderful night's sleep. But weirdly, you may have a profound and beautiful dream. And in that dream is the moment when you have the new discovery. That dream, that metaphor, could be the place where you really find something that starts that passion, that fire, that energy inside of you. And that's not because I've said so. It's not because of the placebo element. It's not because of any of these things. It's just because now is the time that your unconscious mind has decided is the moment. And that moment could be any time that you choose, but your unconscious mind will choose this moment right now for you. And once that discovery is made, you realize that almost anything is possible. You may find that the sound of my voice actually helps you find that more profound place. You may find that as you blink your eyes, your hands twitch or you swallow. All of these things can just reinforce that moment for you. Tonight, when you go to bed, you can have that wonderful sleep. To drift, to dream, to do whatever you choose. And when you dream, it gives you permission to experience wonderful worlds of your imagination. And in that place, you can go wherever you need to go in order to make the changes that you need to change. And in a moment, we're going to come back to this moment. And it may feel like a couple of moments. It may be profound. It may be just an experience that is just for you. But here's the thing. It is your experience. And you can find that by doing this, those old negative thoughts, feelings, anxieties about change just don't feel the same now. And as you notice that feeling, you can start to just allow your conscious awareness to come back to your breathing, the rise and fall of your chest, the feel of your feet, your hands, and maybe becoming aware of the touch of your clothes against your skin. And as you do so, it just lets you know that everything is going to be okay. I'm going to count from 3 to 1. And on the count of 1, we'll be back right here, enjoying this wonderful feeling, this moment right here on this podcast. And on some level, we will discover that we have an unconscious desire to tune in every single time there's a Hypnosis Hero podcast. As we go 3, 2, and 1. Back in the room, feeling wonderful, relaxed, refreshed. Have a bit of a stretch, have a bit of a yawn, do whatever it is you need to do.
There you have it. Let us know how that was for you. We actually had a few people stop into the live while that was happening and said, "Hey, that's great that you got a podcast now that I know I'm going to tune in." So that's good. Coach Mike was particularly impressed with our disclaimer across the bottom. He said, "I hate repeating myself. That's a great idea." And I said, "Yeah, actually, it was Jim that came up with that idea." He said he wanted something there to remind us to make the disclaimer, but also in case anybody ever decided to litigate, there was proof that we did put out a warning. So, and it's not that hypnosis is dangerous. It's that we call them floppers in the business.
Yep.
There are some people who relax really, really well, and they flop. And in flopping, sometimes they whack their head on the corner of a table or something like that. So we always want to make sure people are safe.
Are you a flopper, Brian?
If I get hit in the head hard enough. If they use a big enough hammer. No, I've definitely rang my bell a couple times.
I aim to please.
So some of it's been self-induced, just bang your head against the wall. But no, Grant, it's always a pleasure having you come on.
Yes.
And join us. And it seems like every time I talk with you or we talk a little bit of business, it's like I learn just a little bit more. You know, your thing about doing some Facebook ads, you know, bill out that extra $150 to your fee,
it's a negligible amount for the client. It means to add that on to what they're already paying. They will not notice that as an increase, but the return that they will get from that is unbelievable.
Yeah, I was going to say, especially if it's for example, you're playing in a bar or something, and they go, hey, we brought in another 50 people that bought drinks, and that extra $100 made us another 600 or 700. They'll take that all day.
But what's more important is it means every client is paying for your Facebook marketing.
Mm-hmm. Then I'd be fine with that.
Exactly. And you get the tax relief for it as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Jess is joining us all the way from Manitoba. Jess is Jen's twin sister. And I believe both of them just celebrated a birthday, but I doubt Jess is going to tell me which one it is. So I think Jen might have mentioned it in one of her lives. But Becca says, lovely feeling so calm. Thank you so much. You'll get more of that, Becca, when you come to PHS. In January 2026, we will see Brian there live. We will see Grant there live. And assuming that I can get out of Canada and I'm not snowed in, you will get to see me live as well.
Fantastic stuff.
Worst case scenario, grab a rental car and just drive across the border and get to the States.
If I can't get out by airplane, I'm not getting out by car. Yeah. At that point, tank might be the only way.
And a lot more fun.
So you say. As always, on behalf of Brian and Grant, take care, stay well, be awesome, everybody.
Stay free, guys.